Okay, we want to welcome our Facebook friends today. Neil, hold on a second. I got to show you.
You want me to check it out?
Yeah, check it out. Let freedom ring.
Well, you know, this is the important part right here. There you go. That's good.
Fair?
That's good, yeah.
Okay, passing grade.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, from you. Oh. Thank you. The Liberty Bell.
All right.
And the Declaration of Independence. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. I didn't want to miss my chance because, it's a whole year. Pretty good. Thank you guys, all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the wonderful communion service and music, worship, praise, and for your attendance on Facebook, wherever you are out there today. God bless you. As the banner says, let freedom ring. I'm glad to have 2 weeks kind of subdivided up. For music, it helps a lot. There are so many songs. But there's what can you say about the United States of America in a single sermon? So we'll say all that we can while we can. Amen? And I think what we treasure in our heart is self-explanatory and doesn't need to be explained. But the expression of America. What does America say to the world? What does America say to you today? What is the voice of America? What is the message? Freedom, certainly. Liberty, all of these words, they're used so much. It's kind of like in church, there's a lot of Christianese, a lot of language that gets used so much it becomes almost meaningless. But when I hear freedom, liberty, bravery, courage, and then when I just look back briefly at the history of America, such a young country we are. We're so young. You are so young. You're barely getting started. And there are a few growing pains along the way. But all our eye is on the prize. And I mean that. On July the 4th weekend, of course, July the 4th was yesterday, but it still rings loud and clear today. It is a national holiday, of course, in America, and many people are celebrating or partying or whatever you want to call it in their ways. But there is no greater way than to worship the Most High God.
Amen. Hallelujah.
The one who created heaven and earth. As I said earlier, if you don't believe that, it doesn't change it if he did.
Amen.
If you do believe it, your future is secure. I don't think any of us know why we were chosen to be Americans. Maybe some of you chose to be. Likely some of you did. I should say that. But I was just born here. I didn't choose. I feel so chosen. I didn't really choose Christ. I was chosen. I just sort of looked around one day and, whoa. I don't know how I got here, but, well, I sure am glad to be here. I don't try to figure it out. I just relish in His blessings. And the responsibility He has given us. We are unique. We are unique people. There is no land on earth like this land. This land is our land. On July 4th weekend, I trust that we all have a deep appreciation and love for American freedom. Beyond mere words and decorations. I know some oppose traditional American beliefs and values. I know that. That's a part of America, the freedom to believe as you choose. Amen. Some oppose the American way of life. I'm the kind of person who believes we should live and let live. I can strike a deal with anyone to live and let live. And there's no one that I try to impose my will on or to tell how to live. But there are many who are not content to live their lives as they will. They must also tell you how you must live your life. So here we are. Some believe the death penalty for heinous crimes is wrong. But the death penalty for unborn babies is right. I don't want to harp on this, but I'm waiting for the first person to explain to me how you can reconcile supporting this. Your argument is hollow beyond that. If we can't agree between life and death, the rest of it is irrelevant. It's inconceivable that we can reconcile this politically or socially or in any other way. How can we? Not as Americans, but as human beings. How can we? Some believe that firearms in the hands of law-abiding citizens must be dealt with.
I know how to deal with that.
Newsflash. Pay attention. This is real news. To the experts, just to the experts. It's called the Bill of Rights, not the Bill of Needs or Privileges. Okay, I don't want to harp on this either. I hear lawyers talking this way. They don't know what they're talking about. No wonder we have such a mess. They don't know the difference between a right and a need and a privilege and permission. They talk as though it's the same thing, but it's not the same. Rights are guaranteed. Privileges are revoked and given according to the whim of authority. Permission is at the whim of authority. But rights are inalienable. Broadcast media, they believe that broadcast media, like TV and Facebook, reports the truth. But the Bible should never be considered as truth. It's a fake book, while news is fact and provable. Just for a moment or two, you know the Bill of Rights are generally referred to as the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. So I'm going to just read you the first two. Article 1, or the First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. What reasonable person wouldn't be in agreement with this? You know what this says? Live and let live.
Amen to that.
Article 2, or the Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. You don't defund it. The right of the people. The people. Any people here? I'm a people. May not be one of your favorite ones, but it's okay.
You're in the top 50.
Okay. That's pretty high. The right of the people to keep and bear arms, firearms, or defensive arms, or other kinds of arms, shall not be infringed. Tell me if this is over your head and we'll slow down. Because it's pretty obvious there's a little bit of illiteracy, like a virus has spread through the land. Without this right, the right to keep and bear arms, all other rights are meaningless. You have no other rights. You have no right other than what you're able to defend as your right. Defenseless people are rightless people. I've noticed people who are not willing to live and let all people live pick and choose very carefully whose rights they infringe upon. For example, babies in their mother's womb, who will speak for them? The weak, the infirm, the elderly, who will speak for them? Again, I notice how carefully they pick and choose. Without this right, all other rights are meaningless. You have no right other than that which you can defend and keep. A disarmed population will always be oppressed by its government until its rights become privileges issued or revoked by their government. We the people. It has to be true. It's on my necktie. This necktie came from a souvenir shop right at the Liberty Bell itself. So it's true. It's not fake. Citizens have a constitutional right to be protected by properly funded, efficient armed forces. You have a right to expect to be protected by those who are your protectors. You have a right when you pick up your phone to call, they come. Or give me my money back. I don't want to be too subtle here. We got one day. This is it. It is the federal government's responsibility to provide for and protect the borders of our country, without which there is no country. Are you stupid? Which one of you has a yard with no border? Which one of you has a house with no wall, no door? Which one of you? The Bill of Rights does not give us these rights. These rights are already ours. The Bill of Rights prevent our own government from infringing upon these rights. They're not to protect government, they're to protect us from government. You feel a little infringed? You feeling a little nervous and afraid right now? This is for you. Stand up. Don't bow your knee or kiss nobody's ring on this earth but God's. Demand. George Washington, you ever heard of him? He's the guy they're tearing his statues down. You've heard of him, right? Some call him the father of our country. He said this: a free people ought not only to be armed and disciplined, but they should have sufficient arms and ammunition to maintain a status of independence from any who might attempt to abuse them, which would include their own government. George Washington. No wonder he's got to come down. No, oh, you brave, pulled down a metal statue. You so brave. Red paint, you so brave. As they've been rightly described, just spoiled children playing revolutionaries, ignorant and illiterate as can be. Free speech. Say what you want. I assure you, I am. I thank God for the breath I have. As long as I have breath, I will speak for God, not about God. keep seeing this protest sign. We're coming to take away your guns. Y'all looking scared. Protesters. Coming to take away your guns. We are coming to take away your guns. I'm trying to keep a straight face here. This is serious, you guys. This is not funny. When I see this, I don't know what else to say. So I say when. Say when. Say when. When, Joe? Say when. I see this little wannabe president. Here's what he said. He's a little wannabe tough guy. Here's his words. I use biblical word, King James words, so don't get shocked. Here's what the president wannabe says. Hell yes, we're coming to take your AR-15, your AK-47. You know what I say? Coming, are you? Say when. That's all I got to say from here on out. Say when. I probably should explain in case anybody fainted. Some of y'all have seen this before. These are toy Colt 45s that my mother saved when I was in elementary age. I have more, but these are my favorites. Always been a cowboy. Always a cowboy. Cowboys don't have long discourses. They just say when. Say when. This is very unpredictable. Look, can't you see people freaking out when they see this? Can't you see that? Can't you see that? Can't you see that? Can't you see that there is a virus of reprobate parents, teachers, preachers, politicians, judges. Reprobate. Reprobate call evil good and good evil. They don't know the difference. They don't know the difference between God and the devil. Well, then, your little splitting hairs indoctrinating everybody who can possibly get to listen to you won't save you.
That's right.
You better find out life and death first. Settle the big issues. I don't even know where to go from here. I know where some people would like for me to go, but I'm not going there. I hope they don't either. It's not a good place. But you think this is bad? Recently, they really went too far. Now, you ready for this? They're trying to defund Chase, the Paw Patrol cop. You know what he's guilty of? He's a cop. He's a cop dog. You know what his crime is? He rescues cats in distress. We cannot have this. We have to defund this immediately. What if our children grow up watching Paw Patrol?
My kids love it.
Poor Chase. They want him out of a job. Who are the cats going to call now? Who are they called? Their congressmen? They're on vacation. Okay. Just to show you my heart's in the right place. I'm a very sympathetic guy, very loving guy. I feel sorry for Chase. So, in order to help support him, I'm funding his salary with some shortbread cookies. And we bought some for all the kids too. You're going to see them when you leave here. And so our governor doesn't get in another snit fit. They're all individually wrapped. No one has handled Paw Patrol graham cookies. We're not poisoning our children.
They are.
Defund Paw Patrol. If we don't show our support for Paw Patrol, the next thing you know, they'll come after Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam. Wait, it's too late. It's too late. It's too late. Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam no longer have guns in new Looney Tunes cartoons. We got some new Looney Tunes, but they're not in cartoons. We've never been this loony of a tune before.
This world has gone crazy.
Brother.
Call of Duty's okay.
So since society has now regressed to cartoon level intellect, let's follow the science for a minute. Tell me if I go too fast for you. All you teachers whom I love and adore and feel so sorry for. It's like policemen. I feel so sorry to be in such a reprobate system, the things you have to do in order to keep your job are sickening.
I know.
Paul, buy more Paw Patrol. For the 101st time, I'm going to say this. Write it down this time. You're not getting it. There is only one race. The human race. Show me the race that came from any place other than planet Earth. Show me the science.
That's right.
Listen up, you science teachers. There are no perfectly straight lines in nature.
That's right.
There are no perfect circles in nature. There are no solid colors in nature. Did you know that? There are no truly black or truly white people anywhere. All people are different shades of brown. Look at yourself. Should I slow down? You got this so far? So far. So, since there is only one race, and there is, by definition, there can be no such thing as racism. It's a fake word. It is a misnomer designed to exploit the unlearned, those who didn't know what I just said. To be sure, there is discrimination. There is prejudice. There is bigotry and the like in the world. But racism is fabricated for effect and is not a valid term. You are a liar. Nothing is more fundamentally ignorant than hatred or prejudice against anyone because they are different from you. Since every person who ever existed is different from you. You're not that stupid, I hope.
Wake up.
Every one of us are unique and different. And there have never been two of anything in creation that are the same. Every grain of sand is different. Every snowflake is different. Every human being is different. Listen, follow the science. Get back to the science book and throw that trash out. Teachers, you have time. Speak up. People hate because they've chosen to. They claim they hate because of actual or perceived wrongs committed against them, which I don't try to deny, but hatred is still a choice. And by definition again, in all choices, we have a choice. You don't have a choice in what other people do to you, but you have a choice and whether you hate them or not. Love is a choice. Choose love. The Bible clearly says, the Bible, you know that fake book? God says, I've given you a choice. Death and life. Choose life. If you fail an open book test like that, there is no hope of you graduating from anywhere. And you will listen to everything your Facebook friends tell you as long as you live until you are dead. If you don't want your children to grow up to be haters, Don't allow the village to raise your children. You go home and wash your mouth out with soap. If you've ever said it takes a village to raise children, you go spit that out and never say that again. It takes godly parents to raise children. I forgot my chase. Don't allow the village to raise your children. Villagers always raise more villagers. And they raise them for one thing, to ensure the continuation of their own posterity. By extension, they want to send their hellish, fiendish lies, inconceivable untruths in the minds of these pitiful children into the world as an extension of their own ideology. A pox on all their houses. Don't allow your children to be indoctrinated in the name of education by people who do not love them, but only exploit them to continue their ideologies by extension through them. Children are the gift of God. Don't hand them over to the devil to raise. So, we're cartoons. We're in science class. Now I have a movie review. Doesn't sound like it's in character with me. It is. I'm really not a movie person. I probably have seen 20 movies my whole entire life, and I never liked any of them hardly. I'm not a movie person, but I'm not against them. I just am not entertained by what I see out of Hollywood, frankly. It's an insult to intelligence, I think. However, the movie review, Tombstone. It's a little older. I recently looked it up and watched it again. If you're a preacher, anything and everything is a sermon, no matter where it is or where you see it. I don't care what it is. Everything speaks to us. You think stuff is pure entertainment? You think education is pure education? No, it transforms us. Don't kid yourself. The final scenes. I don't want to give this away too much. You might want to go watch this. I recommend it, kind of. Tombstone. Wyatt Earp, the Earp brothers. Doc Holliday, you've heard of him? Okay, so in the final scene, I got to hurry. Wyatt Earp says to Doc Holliday, Doc Holliday doesn't have too long to go. I don't give too much away. They had a real bad guy that they finally were able to dispatch. He was the most evil person. Okay, right, Ringo. That's it. There's another juvenile delinquent there. So we're a good fit, Bill. So Earp asked Doc, what makes a man so evil like that man was? Even his posse, even his fellow outlaws, he was too evil for them. They just couldn't believe the things he would say and do. He's the most evil guy. Ringo. So Doc says, why is he so evil? There's a big hole right through the middle of him. He's empty on the inside. He can never kill enough. He can never steal enough. He can never get enough revenge. So Herb says, what does he want revenge for?
Being born.
And Doc says, for being born.
Yeah, that's right.
You've been looking in the streets lately on TV? Tell me if you see vengeance. And tell me what it's for. They hate themselves for being born who they were. They missed the whole point. The beauty of life. So what does he want revenge for being born? It's profound. So Doc asked Wyatt Earp, Wyatt, what did you ever want out of life? He says, just a normal life. You hear people say that? You haven't heard this answer yet. Just want a normal life. Doc says, there's no normal life. There's just life.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Your life is normal.
Amen.
People are trying to get a normal life so they can then live their life. Then they can be happy. Right now their life is not normal. There is just life. This is life. Revenge. People want revenge. So here comes the vengeance. But maybe I'm being, I don't know if I can say anything more harsh than I already have. But it seemed like the message I'm hearing, unless I'm not hearing it correctly, I'm just hearing one message. It's our turn now, and we're going to make you suffer like you made us suffer. If that's it, that's not a message. That's a suicide note. What kind of cartoon are we living here? When we can just go on and do our little pablum sermonettes and go on la-di-da in life. This is it. We're at the crossroad.
That's right.
And finally this, Psalms 33:12, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord,
Hallelujah.
and the people he chose for his inheritance. There may be some who disagree with my beliefs or my way of life. I'm sure there are. Yet I offer to them the very riches of God in Christ Jesus, free for the asking. The only difference between me and them is I don't try to tell them how to live. They want to tell me how to live. It won't work. Paul said this, or I should say this. Christ will change your life if you give him a chance. If you say no, then it's no. But you miss everything. Romans 10:1, brethren, my heart's desire, this is Paul, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they may be saved. That's my prayer for America. I don't pray for America just to keep them from messing it up for me. I love America. I want it to survive and thrive and do well. It's not for me, it's for America's sake. I'll take care of my own self. Period. My prayer for America, turn to God while there's still time. And hear this. Let every true American say this with me. The life which any other would impose on me is not fit to live. I am a free man. You can't say that sitting down. That's when you stand up then. You know what you say? Say when. Say when. Here's the most important thing today. If you know what you're doing. Wednesday night, 7 to 8:30. First session since March the 11th. Happy birthday, America. God bless you and thank you so much.